Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name is Vin PF, and on today's episode we're going to be checking out another Tully Barden. Now I've covered the Sovereign cask so far, and after that actually I've organised a tasting with them. If you're watching this in the month of May, if you're watching this later, unfortunately it's already passed, but I'm going to be doing a tasting on Zoom with these guys. So you can go and check out that in the links below if you're interested. That's internationally available, by the way, so if you can attend then you can get it if you pay the customs charges and whatnot. Another story. In any case, they sent me the next three in the range: the 225, the 228 and the 500. I'm going to go through them in the order that that they are. You know, it's the order of the number for no other reason, and I'll probably do them sort of one a month over the next couple of months anyway, so I'm not bombarding you with these guys. Now I've been getting the pronunciation wrong apparently. I say Tully Barden, just as I have been my whole life, so I'm struggling with saying the correct word, which is Tully Barden. Some people will say Tully Barden, but basically who cares? I don't care, but I'm going to try to say it in the correct way if I can, but if I do get it wrong at any point, please do forgive me. Let's get into this one then and see what we've got, because on the table we've got the 225. Now that relates to the size of the cask that this was finished in. Same with the other ones as well, the 228 and the 500. Kind of semantics really, but it's a nice little designation. I quite enjoy it. This is a Sauternes cask finish. Now I'll show you the bottle because it's quite a nice looking hefty bottle. I don't know about chill filtration or colouring or anything like that, so we're not going to go into that today. It is 43%, so you can make your own judgments on that. It may well be obvious to some, but as you guys might know, I review the bottle as presented to me. That's my thing. I review the ABV I'm presented at. I don't really take into account a lot of this stuff on the back. You know, I do glance over it to see if there's any good information on there, but what I can't see is any information about colouring or chill filtration, so moving on from that. Now, as I said, this is a 43%. This goes for roughly £35 in the UK. You can get it for cheaper or more expensive, depending on where you're looking, but we'll get into if that's a good deal a bit later on. Now this little rebrand, let's say, has been around since about 2013. This is called the Signature range, and that includes the Sovereign, the 225, the 228, the 500, blah blah blah. Now this is cool because although this is a no age statement, it's been, as stated on the website and on the back of this, aged originally in first fill ex-bourbon cask, which is already good. We like that for an unknown period of time, and then finished in the Sauternes cask for another unknown period of time, although I'm given to believe from a little glance online that it might be about 12 months for that. You know, so what else is there really to say about this thing? This is a no-age statement whiskey. We're going to treat it as such and give it the kind of fair assessment that everyone should do. This is kind of the whiskey norm at the moment. You know, the no-age statement Scotch is here to stay. Let's get into it and see what we've got on the nose. Now, Sauternes is a sweet French wine, so we should be getting some sweetness on this. Now, the wine itself is created by grapes that have been affected by what they call the noble rot, which creates a kind of even sweeter wine. So they call it a dessert wine. I've never drank Sauternes wine on its own, I have to admit, but for me, I'm getting kind of the normal flavours that you would expect to get, the kind of like vanillas, although it's it's much creamier on the vanilla than I would usually expect to get, you know, and the honeys and stuff like that. For me, I'm getting some kind of like sultana vibes from it. It's not quite as heavy as the normal kind of sherried elements that you might get from like a sherried fortified wine, whatever. But I'm getting a kind of like that kind of drying sultana vibe off of this. But it's a really easygoing, light and fresh nose. Very easy. Let's try on the palate and see what we've got. It's much sweeter than your average whiskey, that's for sure. For a good thing for me, I do like a sweet whiskey. For me, it's kind of strangely citrusy. It's not there immediately, but it kind of lingers on a little bit, and then this citrusy element comes through. It's more on the orangey side than the lemony side for me. But it has a kind of like creamy, chocolatey vibe about it on the back end as well. And then ends with this really big kind of cracked black peppery spiciness going on as well. I really like it. It's got a lovely finish on it. Actually, very easy drinking whiskey. I can't imagine this lasting long in my cabinet at all now, because it is so easy drinking and, you know, fairly cheap to get hold of as well. So yeah, bringing me further round. Obviously, if you in the UK, this, you know, it might be harder for you to get further afield. Hopefully, you can get this further afield. You know, these guys have been around a while, worldwide shipping and whatnot. So if you are desperate, you can buy directly from them and ship worldwide if you can't get it locally. But yeah, for what I can get it for today, Amazon, Master of Malt, stuff like that, do it for about 33 quid, £35. You know, if it's on deal, maybe a bit cheaper, a bit more, whatever. And for that money, I think it's pretty good value. You know, yes, you know, 5 years ago we were able to get some age-stated wonderful things for about that sort of price, but you know, we have to keep our finger on the pulse of the climate and where it's going. This is a pretty normal price for a whiskey like this. Just because it hasn't got an age statement on it doesn't mean it hasn't been made with kind of care and attention to detail and whatnot. And that's the case here. You know, they've used their first fill barrels, they finished in an interesting cask type, and you know, yeah, I mean, personally I could do without like on a box and stuff, but I've always said that, you know, it's I'd much rather not have packaging, but I'll actually get into that in another video. I've got a Glendronach over there that I actually asked for to not have the tube, and I've got the tube anyway, but that's nothing to do with this, nothing to do with these people. That's just another story for another day. But yeah, for me, an excellent winner whiskey. Very tasty indeed. I did a tasting recently of these four, and this wasn't my favourite of the day, so I'm only looking forward to going through the rest of them again, because it was actually the 500, which I couldn't get at the time for whatever reason. I think it was sold out. But yeah, really looking forward to carrying on with the rest of this range. So if you want to see the rest of this range, make sure you hit the like button. Let me know in the comments below, because like I said, I do one every sort of like 4 or 5 videos. But if you want to see it sooner, let me know and I'll get on with it. See you again on the next video. I don't know about chill filtration